Number 11, simplify. So I would distribute the 2 and say 2x plus 22. In number 12, I would multiply by 5 and get 5x plus 15, and then we would add 8. Well, 15 and 8 can combine together and get 23. In number 13, we're just going to solve. For number 13, we're going to go ahead and add 13 to both sides, and we would get 15. We would divide both sides by 5, and that would give us x equals 3. In number 14, we have variables on both sides, so we're going to subtract 4x to both sides, and we get 6x plus 6 equals 42. To solve the two-step equation, we need to subtract the 6 from both sides, and we get 6x equals 36. To solve for x, we divide both sides by 6, and we get x equals 6. For 15, 16, and 17, these are all 3 ways to graph a line. So in number 15, you should recognize that that is slope-intercept form, where 1/5 is m and b is -4, and we always begin with the b. So at the -4, I would rise 1 unit, and I would run to the right 5. I also would go down 1 and left 5. And then you could draw your line. In number 16, this is point slope form because you have parentheses. So your slope is the middle, 4. And then your point would be your x and your y, which when you take those numbers out of the equation, they become opposite. So that would be a -2 and a +1. And then we would go at the 0 over to -2, up to 1. And then from there, we would rise 4, run to the right 1. We also could go down 4 and go left 1. In number 17, excuse Donnell for making sounds in class. In number 17, we have standard form, so we're going to cover up the 2y, and we have 6x equals 12. And 2y equals 12 if we cover up the x. So for here, we would divide both sides by 6. X equals 2. We plot a point at 2 on x. For the y, we divide by 2. And 12 divided by 2 is 6. So on the y-axis, we put a point at 6. And then we would connect those 2 points. And then for number 18, it says that you have to write an equation in point slope form that goes through the point 4, -2 and has a slope of 6. And then once it's in PSF, you need to change it or transform it to SIF and SF. So first and foremost, I would label your point and your M. Use point slope form to plug in. So your y1 would be -2. Your slope is 6. And then you have x minus 4. Make your double negative positive. And then we would distribute our 6 to get 6x and -24. And then lastly, we would subtract 2 from both sides, and we get y equals 6x minus 26. From SIF to SF, we need to have x to the other side, so we're going to subtract the 6x to both sides. And then we would have negative 6x. The y is positive since there's nothing in front of it. And then that would equal the negative 26. You do need to make sure you have your negative on 26.